Well, as I said in the last video, I want to do a video on this car as well. Real quick, if you haven't seen the last video was on this 70 Barracuda Grand Coupe, which I'm really wanting to kind of look towards selling it. Real quick overview of that. It's a 70 Barracuda Grand Coupe, originally B7 blue with a white vinyl top and black and white houndstooth Grand Coupe interior. Was a 318 automatic. There's no engine or trans in it now. It's had a lot of kind of questionable metal work done to it, but it's a great starting point for somebody that's looking for um, a real 1970 CUDA project. So definitely check out a video, my last video on that, so you can see a lot more information on that. But anyways, that's not the point of this video. This is the point of the video. This is a 1969 Super B. And this is a real legitimate Super B. It's not just a 69 Cornet. That's got to be one of my favorite parts about the car is the little emblem. But this car came from a friend that I purchased it from. I don't know what the future of the car is going to be. My dad really wanted to buy it because he's always wanted to do a A12 clone, and he wanted a real Super B to start with. And this is exactly what that car is. No fender tag, so not too worried about putting it back to original. You can kind of do whatever you want with it at that point. But it is a real Super B. It's a real WM VIN on it. It was a 383 car. It was a bench seat column shift car. The interior is all kind of messed up, I believe. Now, this is just my assumption, and by all means, if you have other ideas or other assumptions, let me know in the comments. I assume that this car was a drag car at some point, due to a lot of things. First of all, you can see the floors in the the holes in the floor, excuse me. There was some kind of aftermarket racing shifter involved there for sure. But a lot of guys did that, even if it wasn't a drag car. And then the paint job is another thing. This is typical, like 70s street freak kind of paint job here. You can see how it kind of had stuff that went back here. I have seen pictures of the car with the original trunk lid and fenders and hood on it, and that is really cool as well. And this had fender flares on it. So I would imagine they were probably running some pretty wide tires, or at least were going for that kind of a look. I don't know when the car was last registered, but I know that it definitely has led a rough life. As you can see, the quarter panels are pretty much as bad as you can get. And even the tail panel needs to be replaced. I don't know if you can see, but there's rust holes at the base of where the tail lights go. But with the car, I actually got a good original tail panel section to repair this. So, and then this quarter panel's not as bad as the other one, but it would still probably need a full quarter, or at least a good kind of full skin up to the upper body line. So that's kind of the story with the body overall. The floor is pretty good. There is some holes in the floor, but not really that bad. I mean, it'll need repairs, of course, but it's not this just terrible condition on the floors. It'll need front floors. I think the rears actually could be saved, but that'll be kind of down the road, and we'll be needing some further inspection on that. The dash is all apart. I have the dash cluster. I think I have a couple other dash parts too. It's really kind of hard to get some of these dash parts because Super Bs and Chargers had rally dashes, so that stuff's a little bit harder to get. And I don't know if this was a real N96 air grabber or Ram Charger hood car. I'm not sure about that, but I know it has this one on it now. This is not an original. This is just one with the spots for the scoops and the holes in the hood. This was just a plain Cornet hood. So, but we'll pop the hood open and show you what's under here. This is a 69 or 70, I'd have to look at it, I don't remember. 383. It was in a car and it was running. I don't know the exact internal condition, and I'm not really worried about it too much. It'd be nice to have a runner around, or at least just a good starting point and a good year at that. You know, it's always nice to have a 68, 69, 70, that era around. Actually, I'm looking right there. E383. So it's a 69. And there's... Oh, well, would you look at that? HP. This is 1969 HP 383. I did not know that. That's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. This, I was told, came out of a 70 Cornet that a guy was working on. So, wow, I did not realize that. I'm happy to see that that's a 69 HP 383. That's a nice little bonus. So, another piece of evidence that this may have been a drag car. There's holes here in the inner fender. I don't know if they're trying to run lines or something, but it's kind of, I don't know why they did it, but I do have a little bit of a hunch as far as what the reason could be, and I'll show you that in a minute. But overall, I mean, like I said, this hood is just something that had the holes cut in it. I believe previous owner wanted to do the car B7 blue at some point, so he used this hood as kind of a spray out for the color. And it's a gorgeous color. It's one of my favorite colors that Mopar ever had. In fact, back to the Cuda for a minute, or Barracuda, I just call it the Cuda. It was originally B7 blue. It was originally that color. So kind of cool to see the color that car used to be right next to it again. But anyways, that's kind of besides the point. Another piece of evidence that I have that I think it could be a drag car at some point, and I can't get the trunk open yet. I have not accomplished that, but you can see, I don't know if you see what I see, but I see what looks like a nitrous bottle holder. Those two circular brackets there and there, that looks like it was holding a nitrous bottle. I don't know that for sure. I'm not going to claim that did or did not happen. I'm not going to guarantee any of that, but it definitely looks like that. It's got 8 3/4 in it, no trunk pan, but the frame rails, you know, they're all good. This car is completely structurally sound. I mean, at the end of the day, it'll need trunk pan, trunk extensions because they're bad, quarters, and for sure it will need outer wheelhouses. I don't know if it's going to need inners or not. The inners, from what I can see, are good, but I don't know that for sure until I get the trunk open. The lock is just not wanting to actuate properly, so we'll have to deal with that at a later time. But get back up here, and these fenders are weird. They're 69, I want to say Cornet 440 based on the trim, might be Cornet 500, I don't know. I would have to do a little research. It's got the trim. These got to be some of the weirdest 69 fenders as far as rust that I've ever seen. I've never seen a fender rust out there. I've never seen that. And this is very typical, you know, I mean, and they make the lower patch for that. And I'm not worried about that because that's not really a big deal to do the patch, the lower dog leg. But this isn't really that big of a deal. It's a relatively flat area, but I've just never seen that before. That's just weird to me. And I'm not going to open the hood back up again, but the inner channels and everything are good as well. This fender's even more weird. How in the world does a fender rust out right there? I have no idea how that happens. And as if that's not weird enough, it did it twice. So that's just a weird thing. And then you go down here and the dog leg is actually mostly solid. I mean, it's got a hole there, but it's actually mostly solid. So the fenders are weird, but you know, it's pretty typical as far as overall rust amount is very typical. But the front frame rail is good, rear frame rails are good, the torsion bar cross member, all that is good. It'll need, probably the right thing to do would be a full front floor, full quarters on both sides, outer wheelhouses. That tail panel needs to be repaired, as well as trunk pan, trunk extensions. And then repairs to the fenders. I believe the doors are mostly solid. They might have some, yeah, it's got a little bit of rust in that corner down there. So we'll have to either replace the doors or repair them. And that's one thing that's actually been pretty good as far as what we've encountered with these 68 through 70 B bodies. They all share the same door with the exception of 68 had the lock mechanism in a different spot. But Cornet, Roadrunner, Super B, GTX, Satellite, you know, Cornet RT, it's all the same door. The only thing different is a charger. So these doors are not very hard to find, and they actually don't rust out that often from what I've seen. I mean, even our red 68 Cornet RT, that's a really rusty car. It makes this car look decent. You know, it's got good doors on it. So then here's a little bit more of a shot of kind of the paint job that was on it once upon a time. And this is kind of cool, this what they did with the top here. I don't know, I think that's just kind of a cool little design they did. And it was originally like a kind of a coppery brown color with tan interior. I mean, you can see, you can see there's the original color. It's kind of that coppery brown sort of color. But, and I don't know what the future of this car is. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. But my dad's always wanted to do an A12 car. He always wanted to do a 446 pack with a 4-speed, which, speaking of which, there's 4-speed pedals, and there's the bell housing. And we actually picked up from the same guy, same place, 18 spline Hemi 4-speed and a Dana rear end. So that's pretty cool stuff. We have most of the stuff to do it. And we've got plenty of 440s around. I can't even tell you how many we have around. And we have a 1969 HP 440 around, actually. So that's really kind of a cool fit. And it's actually about a halfway through the year, so it would actually be good for a 69 and a half. So yeah, I don't know. We don't know exactly what we're going to do with this. My dad always wanted to do one. That's the 6-pack with the lift-off hood. And he wanted to do it the spring green. So that would be kind of cool. That kind of bright metallic green, that 69 and a half color, which is a really amazing color. But I don't know. We'll just kind of see what happens with this car. And if you guys want more information, or if you guys have any opinions or thoughts on the car, let me know. As of now, it is not for sale. Not looking to sell it. It is not something that's going to be for sale anytime soon. Do I guarantee that we're keeping it forever? No, I don't know what's gonna happen, but definitely keep watching for more info on this. And not to keep dragging the video on, but I want to do a walk around of the 73 Charger. If you've been around the channel for a while, you know this car. This is kind of what started it all as far as the YouTube channel side of things. And then I got a 68 Belvedere two-door post. This car is sold. It's going to a friend in Texas, but I could do a walk around kind of detailed video of that. And then probably one of my more favorite cars, and I don't think I've ever showed this on the channel. I may have had it for a while. This is a 1968 Corvette RT, real deal RT car. So if you want to see any of that stuff, definitely let me know. And not to keep talking and dragging stuff on, I have another car that's sitting in the garage that nobody has ever really seen before, that I kind of want your guys' opinion on what to do with it. It's just like this one. So anyways, I'll leave you with that, and I will see you guys in the next one.